September 8, 1941, German forces complete the encirclement of Leningrad. 3 million people are trapped inside. The city is cut off from the rest of the Soviet Union. No trains, no trucks, no supplies. Winter is coming. The Germans plan to starve the city into surrender. For the next 900 days, Leningrad endures the longest and deadliest siege in modern history. 1 million civilians will die, most from starvation. The city never surrenders. This is the Siege of Leningrad, the encirclement June 22, 1941. Germany invades the Soviet Union with Operation Barbarossa. 3 million German soldiers attack on a 2,000-mile front. The Northern Army Group drives toward Leningrad, Russia's second-largest city, home to 3 million people, major industrial center, birthplace of the Russian Revolution. Hitler wants Leningrad destroyed, not just captured, destroyed. The city represents Bolshevism. It must be eliminated completely. By September, German forces surround the city. They cut the last railway line on August 30th. The last road on September 8th. Leningrad is isolated, 3 million people with no way out and no supplies coming in. The Soviet leadership orders evacuation of essential industries. Factories are dismantled and shipped east, but most civilians stay. There's no transportation, no time, no plan. The Germans settle in for a siege. Artillery bombards the city daily. The Luftwaffe bombs regularly, but the main weapon is starvation. Hitler orders, "We have no interest in saving the civilian population." Winter arrives November 1941. Winter hits Leningrad. The city's food stockpiles are dangerously low. Rationing begins. Workers get 500 grams of bread per day. Office workers get 250. Children get 125. That's not enough. People are already starving. Then it gets worse. The bread ration is cut repeatedly. By late November, workers get 250 grams. Everyone else gets 125. That's 4 slices of bread per day, made mostly from sawdust and cellulose because flour is gone. No other food is available. Meat reserves are exhausted. Vegetables are gone. People eat whatever they can find. Wallpaper paste, leather belts, pets disappear. Temperature drops to -40 degrees. There's no fuel for heating, no electricity for most of the city. Water pipes freeze. People burn furniture for warmth. They burn books. They tear down wooden houses for firewood. Deaths accelerate, thousands per day. Bodies pile up in the streets because the ground is too frozen to dig graves and nobody has strength to bury them. The road of life, the only supply route, is across Lake Ladoga, east of the city. In winter, the lake freezes. Soviet forces build a road across the ice. They call it the Road of Life. Trucks drive across the frozen lake carrying food into Leningrad and evacuating civilians out. It's incredibly dangerous. The ice cracks, trucks fall through. German aircraft bomb the road, artillery shells hit the ice, but it works. The Road of Life brings just enough supplies to keep some people alive. Not enough to end the starvation, just enough to prevent total collapse. Tens of thousands of civilians are evacuated, children, the elderly, the sick, but millions remain trapped. The horror the siege creates conditions beyond imagination. Starvation is everywhere. People collapse in the streets. Bodies lie where they fell for days. Cannibalism occurs. The police establish units to stop it. But hunger is stronger than law. Families face impossible choices. Parents give food to children and die. Children watch parents starve. Curators protect museum collections while starving. Some die before the artworks survive. Composer Shostakovich writes his 7th symphony during the siege. It's performed in August 1942 by starving musicians. Some die before the performance. The concert is broadcast to give hope. Spring 1942 brings slight improvement. The Road of Life operates better. More food arrives, the death rate drops, but people are still dying by thousands. The siege continues. The siege lasts 900 days total, from September 8, 1941 to January 27, 1944. Soviet forces attempt to break the blockade multiple times. All fail with heavy casualties until January 1943, when a narrow land corridor is opened. Supplies increase, but the siege technically continues. Finally, in January 1944, a major Soviet offensive drives the Germans back on January 27th. The siege is officially over. The cost is catastrophic, over 1 million civilians dead, most from starvation. Some estimates go higher, up to 1.5 million, the city's population before the siege, 3 million after, less than 1 million, everyone else dead or evacuated. The legacy, the Siege of Leningrad, becomes a symbol of Soviet resistance. The city never surrendered despite starvation, cold, and death everywhere. Soviet propaganda makes it the ultimate example of sacrifice. The siege demonstrates Nazi Germany's brutality in the East. Hitler deliberately starved civilians. It wasn't military necessity, it was extermination. Leningrad receives the title Hero City. Survivors receive medals, but trauma lasts generations. Survivors suffer permanent damage. Children carry the memory forever. Closing September 8, 1941. The Germans surround Leningrad. 900 days later, 1 million civilians are dead. The survivors are traumatized forever. The city is devastated, but Leningrad never surrendered. The siege proves that human beings can endure almost anything, that cities can survive when survival seems impossible, that determination can outlast cruelty. It also proves the cost of total war. 1 million dead from starvation in a single city, in one siege. The Siege of Leningrad stands as one of the greatest crimes of World War II, and one of the greatest examples of human endurance. The city survived, but the price was almost too high to bear. Subscribe to Sword and Pen, where military might meets political power.